Alright, what up? So I'm gonna go over putting this Metra bypass harness into a 2000 Celica GTS. When you look up this harness for the 2000 and 2002, it says not compatible. So I originally put just the regular harness in, and you get that noise, the engine noise, and I don't really give a shit because my car has an exhaust, and I just needed the radio so that something worked when I hear it. And sometimes it's annoying, sometimes it's not, but I live with it, and I kind of disregarded the possibility of putting the bypass harness into the car. So now I've got a new head unit, and I'm like, you know what, I'm sick of this shit. And I saw on the internet that people have used this bypass harness on the GTS. So I'm just in the beginning of the process. I looked it up to see what's different. So I'm gonna go through what, my experience. This isn't installed yet, so you'll see at the end if I'm like, nah, this shit didn't work. But so one thing I noticed when I look at this is the little one that comes with it, right? There's the big one with the 17 feet of wire for actually bypassing the amp. This that comes with it, it has, and mine is already missing a wire. I pulled this blue power antenna wire out. I don't have a power antenna. I'm pretty sure nobody with the Celica has a power antenna. So I'm looking at this, and the first thing I noticed is there's no illumination wire for this. There should be an orange wire so that the head unit knows to dim when you've got your headlights on, right? And that's important to me because I hate driving with the head unit all bright. Honestly, most of the time I leave the head unit off because I don't want to see some bright shit in my eyes. So I definitely need it to dim. So what I'm gonna do is, the regular one of these that I have in my car has an orange wire. I'm gonna de-pin that and put it into here so that the colors match up. Something you could do if you only have this harness is you could take this blue wire and move it in the harness so that becomes your illumination wire. Their diagrams, I got them off of Crutchfield. I'll put a link below, and it shows you what the wires on this plug correspond to, like the value wise, like which one's the antenna, which one's the illumination. So that's what I'm working off of. Again, I'll see if this actually all lines up in the process of it. But another thing that I noticed is the long 17-foot wire. Two things about it. One, it's mad long. You don't need 17 feet of wire to go from your glove box to the head unit. So I'll share my account, like how short I chopped it down to maybe save you a little bit of trouble with trying to put 17 feet of wire behind your glove box. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Another thing is that long harness comes with wires for a sub. And maybe that's why this says not compatible with the 2000 and 2002. Maybe the JBL comes with the sub, but there's no sub in my car. I've had the entire interior out of the car. I know 100% there is no sub in the back, and I've wired in head unit before. There's no wires for a sub, so maybe that's why it's not compatible. But I already took the wires out. I de-pinned the connector for all the sub wires, so that's less for me to have to run through my car. Less chunky wiring to have behind the glove box. So I'm not going to show you start to finish. Like, I'm not going to go through the process of opening up the trim to pull the head unit out, right? There's pictures, websites, 100 videos on, maybe not 100 because it's a Celica, many videos that show you how to get to the head unit, right? And I'm pretty sure all of us know where that amp is. If you pull the glove box out to get to the blower motor or to get to the cabin air filter, you know where it is. Maybe I'll show real quick where it is, but that's pretty common knowledge. I'm not going to show how to get to it. Pull the glove box out, take the little plastic trim around it, and this is going to be more about making this bypass harness work with the 2000 to 2002 GTS because it says it's not compatible, and I believe it is. So I'll keep you posted with my progress. Right, so real quick, here's under the glove box here. It's a blower motor. See the amps right there? That's the plug you pull out and attach the bypass harness. I chopped this down to 44 inches, which still seems kind of long, but it's not bad, and I can wrap up the extra inside, but there's no way you need 17 feet of this. All right, so took the orange illumination wire out of the 708113 harness that I had, and I'm gonna put it goes right next to this yellow. I'll put a little picture on the screen of the Metra wiring diagram from Crutchfield, but it's pretty simple. And I guess like a little tip to pick these out is you kind of push it all the way in, and then you use a safety pin or something to de-pin the connectors. It was kind of annoying at first to figure out, but once I got it down, you can see there's like a little ridge on there, so you just kind of got to get it past the plastic piece past the ridge. But I'm just putting this in now. I just heard it click in. So now I have an illumination wire on this harness, and I'm gonna wire it all up. I believe, let me look at this. We've got black, white amplifier, don't need that. Black grounds on here. The amplifier, blue, white turn on wire, don't need that. Power antenna wire is right here, don't need that. And I've got the yellow, red, and orange. So this is what my final small plug is gonna look like from the big kit. Let me see the number again. I keep referencing the numbers from the 708116 kit. So this is what it's gonna look like when I put it in the car. I'll update you as I keep going. So this is all the wire that I was left with. And like I said, you don't need 17 feet of this. Of course, the reason why it comes with 17 feet of this is because maybe in some cars you need to reach an amp in the back, but the Celica, that's not the case. As I said, I chopped it down to 44 inches. You could probably do less, but that's enough where I feel cool with wrapping up what's extra. So give me a second, I'll show you where the harness is at right now. All right, so this is my harness where it's at, soldered, heat shrinked, and you can see, so I was talking before, these are the connectors with what you don't need depinned out of it and the illumination added in. So I gave it a test run of the Celica. Seems like everything's cool. I'm gonna clean this up, put everything back in the car, and you know, show you the final result. All right, so here's a little run through of the finished product. When the CarPlay connects, I might cut my video off, so that'll be why it's choppy, but everything worked out how I thought it would. There's no noise coming through the amp anymore because it's bypassed, so there's no noise in the speakers, I should say. Everything sounds normal. The illumination works, so if you're interested in keeping that, definitely do what I showed, where you add the wire for the illumination. And I would say that the 44 inches that I cut the harness to is perfect. After I taped it all up and I ran it through and zip tied it into the car, everything kind of lined up how I wanted it to. So I was happy with that overall. And one other note that I want to say is this harness is like $30 average price when you look for it online. I got it off Amazon like new or something like that, like used like new, whatever it's called, and there was no problems with it. So it was $13, and to me that was worth the experiment. And I would say if you're looking for this and you didn't want to spend $30 on it, that'd be a way to go, because you can see you cut off the majority of the wire anyway, so that's why they charge so much for it, because it's a lot of wire. But I'm gonna call this a success. I hope my video helps some people out, and this harness definitely works for the 2000-2002 non-JBL Celica GTS.